Good morning to one and all. Welcome you all to today's session. Today we will have 7 paper presentations in 2 sessions, and I'm sure these sessions will be informative and will generate discussion.
I welcome Anjali Biju for the prayer song. I kindly request all to rise up for the prayer.
विश्वं सृष्टिच विश्वेश्वर प्रभु विघ्नं विना अरुळे गणे विश्वं सृष्टिच विश्वेश्वर प्रभु विघ्नं विना अरुळे गणे करुणामया निन् कारुण्यदीपകം अरुणोदയം പോൽ വിളങ്ങിടണേ കരുണാമയാ നിൻ കാരുണ്യദീപകം അരുണോദയം പോൽ വിളങ്ങിടണേ വിശ്വം സൃഷ്ടിച്ച വിശ്വേശ്വര പ്രഭു വിഘ്നം വിനാ അരുളേകണേ ഭാസുരമാനസം ഈശ്വരക്ഷേത്രം കനിവേറും നിൻ കൃപദയാപൂരിതം ഭാസുരമാനസം ഈശ്വരക്ഷേത്രം കനിവേറും നിൻ കൃപദയാപൂരിതം വിജ്ഞാനാമൃതം വാത്സല്യമായി തന്ന വിശ്വപ്രവാഹത്തെ കൈത്തൊഴുന്നു വിജ്ഞാനാമൃതം വാത്സല്യമായി തന്ന വിശ്വപ്രവാഹത്തെ കൈത്തൊഴുന്നു വിശ്വം സൃഷ്ടിച്ച വിശ്വേശ്വര പ്രഭു വിഘ്നം വിനാ അരുളേകണേ കരുണാമയാ നിൻ കാരുണ്യദീപകം അരുണോദയം പോൽ വിളങ്ങിടണേ അരുണോദയം പോൽ വിളങ്ങിടണേ.
The moderator of the third session of the seminar is Dr. T.V. Murali Vallavan, who is an international personality and not an economist. He is the director of a management institute. He had widely traveled and has participated in several subjects, including spirituality. He was also a member of the board of directors of the organizations under the central government. We are honored to have him as a moderator, and this will be an online session. So the participants, those who are presenting their paper on this session are Ria Majid on role of technology in journalism, Ardhana role of privacy concerns in using social media, Rekhu MD disintegration of media ethics, and Sylvia Thomas portrayal of street level bureaucracy in films. Welcome and over to you, sir.
A very good morning to all of you. The faculty members, Dr. Michael sir, Father Sobi, sister and other faculty members and participants of this national seminar on role of media and judiciary. Yesterday, I am very happy to see that this seminar was inaugurated by my own teacher, Dr. J. Gopakumar. And day before yesterday evening, we spent the momentary, so-called very valuable time in Panchalipat. We went together. And Michael sir was just telling me that the participants' number may be less. Don't worry. Great changes in the world has been made by not a larger number, but very few persons. Gigantic personalities like Jesus Christ, Buddha, and even Marx. They have changed the history as a person. Why? Because they were supported by the principles, the great principles that they imbibed in their life, personal life, changed the whole world. Of course, what Marx stood for has been changed in due course, but the philosophy and ideology and the principles preached by Jesus Christ and Buddha are still valued very much in the society. I'm not supposed to make a speech here as the chairman of the session, but a few introductory remarks are to be made. That is the prerogative of the chairman. Yesterday we heard about the mature democracy, electoral democracy, and trivial democracy. Dr. Gobomar briefly said about these things. And have you ever thought of the cost of democracy, maintenance of democracy in India as media persons or would-be media persons? And are the people of the countries truly represented by a government, even if they get the majority as per the principles of democracy that we follow? Also, sometimes the democracy which we call are turned into mobocracy and partiocracy. Are we aware of that? So as persons of media, I am of the opinion that we should follow a responsible journalism, just like the responsible business of which we are talking about. You should be creative as well as critical. Both are necessary. And normally when we find that the media is telling about only mediocre news, you are sharing only information, that is not enough. That's why we are conducting these seminars. Behind the information, what is the knowledge? And behind the knowledge, what is the wisdom? Actually, media should go to the level of wisdom. Then only the reporting of matters will be factual as well as it will be having a preventive measure on the evils of society. So keeping these things in our mind, let us hear who are all going to present the paper. As the comparator has just said, Ria Majid will be speaking on role of technology in journalism. Arthana will be speaking about role of privacy concerns in using social media. Raghu MD will be speaking about disintegration of media ethics. And the last one, Sylvia, will be speaking on the portrayal of street-level bureaucracy in films. So let us see what these speakers have got to say. Please lend your ears as well as your minds to the speakers. And I invite the first speaker. It's quite ready, no, for that? What about the first speaker? Is she ready? Yes. So I am inviting Priya Majid to speak on role of technology in journalism. Welcome, Priya Majid.
Good morning all. I am Ria Majid from JDT Vellimadugunnu, Calicut. Today I am going to present a seminar about role of technology in journalism. So, as we all know, technology is systems and devices which are results of scientific knowledge being used for used for practical purpose. Technology is employed for many objectives, and it's evident that technology has revolutionized the current industry. We can see technology development in every sector. It influences people from all walks of life. That is, it became an unavoidable part of life for many people. The field of journalism can benefit from technology just as much as other industries. From the perspectives of journalists, technological growth has had a significant impact on them. A journalist is a person who collects information from different parts of the world, then edit and report it in different media such as televisions, radio, etc. And there are many disadvantages and advantages for technology, and also there are many advantages and disadvantages for journalists who may face political and economical pressures, and also many other disadvantages. Here, my aim is to find out whether technology is a merit or demerit to the journalist. What is technology? Technology is the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life. The technology has made people life easier in many ways. Technology has brought a revolution in transport and communication. It helped the people to become self-reliant in all spheres of life. And journalism. Journalism is the activity of writing for newspapers, magazines, or news, or preparing news that is to be broadcasted. And journalist is the one who collects the information from the various parts of the world, and they edit it into the um, way to broadcast into the public. And the new journalism, the journalists always inform the public about the past and present things which is happening all around the world. And like everything, journalism also have advantages and disadvantages. The foremost aim of the news media is to give information to the public on present and past things. The journalists are working hard for conveying the news or information to the public. They have to make sure about the contents and informations are true before they present it to the public. And some of the advantages of technology for the journalist are they are time saving. As I have stated already, it was very difficult job for the journalists to collect the information from all around the world. For gathering the information, they had to travel all around the world, and it was a time-consuming process for the journalist. So, uh, with the advancement of technology, it became very easy for them. And in both uh, the collecting information and to share it on the medias. And the another advantages of technology is availability of media tools. There are many media tools that are available today. This media tools helps the journalists in many ways. Especially, this tool helps journalists to achieve their goals. These tools help journalists to work more productively with no cost. Um, there are many media tools that is available in both free and paid. So, some of the such free tools are Currents, Tiny, Intel Techniques, Hemingway, and 100 And here, the Currents is a free tools which helps the journalist to see which topic is performing the best in all sites all around the world. Also helps the journalist that which keyword are people using to search the contents. And Tiny is another media tool which is an image search engine. This helps the journalist to search about the images that uploaded in internet. If you submit a picture in the website of Tiny, it will help the journalist to find out when and where it was used first. This will help journalists to determine the news is fake or not. And the Intel techniques are it is a media tool used by investigative journalists. It will help to search across the social media and different website platforms, and this will help the investigative journalists to keep a track on someone, and so they can understand someone's social life, and their characters. Hemingway is another free tool which is also helpful for journalists. It is an online app. This will help the journalists to know how readable their content is, and this app helps the journalists to highlight their error in the content, and it also suggests the method to correct their contents. Hunter.io is also an tool helps in the field of investigative journalism. It is difficult for a journalist to find out the contact details of an individual, and this tool helps the investigative journalist to search for the email address that are attached to a specific domain. And also, there are many advantages. For a journalist, they always need a cameraman to film the scene or the film an interview. But if there is some breaking news or something important, in the absence of a cameraman, we can use some of portable filming devices like mobile phones via camera, Google Glass, etc. Here, mobile phones, as we all know, we all are using mobile phones. It has, if there is no a need of professional shooting, the journalist can use mobile phone to shoot the scene. So it will help the journalist to shoot even though there is no cameraman with them. And VR camera is a type of camera that helps to shoot a 360-degree immersive videos. This is a small camera, also a lightweighted, so they can take it with them. So and can filming can be done by the journalist alone. Google Glass is just like an ordinary glass that is used by people. So this glass contain a camera and a motion control device and voice and a motion control device. This will help the journalist to capture the scene in first-hand perspective. So in the absence of a cameraman, they can use these portable filming devices. And the next advantages is artificial intelligence platform. And nowadays, the artificial intelligence plays a major role in every field of sector. Like, artificial intelligence also plays a major role in the field of journalism. With the help of artificial intelligence, journalists can create the content within less time. Also, the automated journalism is also cheaper, and it is available at any time. In olden days, it was very difficult to the journalists to pass the news among the people. It took many days to spread the news from one place to place. Most of them used to pass the news through mouth by mouth. So it was very difficult to reach a news from one person to person. But thanks to technology nowadays, it became very easy for the journalists to know about the news from other countries, and they can pass it to the public in real time. Also, they can share it from anywhere. They don't have to come back to their own country to give the information, or they don't have any other difficulties with that. And also, the live streaming is available nowadays, so the journalist can share the piece of information through the online media itself. Through the live stream, the audience and the journalist have an interact section, so they can interact easily. And next benefit of technology is virtual reality. It is an environment that is generated by computer with scenes and objects that appear to be real. This will help the users feel like they are in a new world which doesn't exist really. This helps the audience to experience a situation from first-hand perspective of a person rather than being a listener or an onlooker. And this helps the journalist to make believe what is real and what is unreal. It is hard to make believe a person the actual fact when he is already fall for the fake news. So this virtual reality platform helps the journalist to can make them see it with their own eyes. Uh, as I stated, advantages.
Priya, could you wind up with within the next 2 minutes?
Yes, sir. There are also disadvantages of technology. The fabricated contents, threats for journalists, economic pressures are some of them. Fabricated content, and nowadays it is very easy to spread the fake news all around the world. With the advancement of technology, it makes journalists their job hard. So it may they have to find whether it is fake or fact, and the journalists are compelled to correct it and give the right information about the fake news that is spreading. So it is a disadvantage. This phase of the technology is a disadvantage for a journalist, and the threats for journalists. The blackmailing via social media and other technical platforms against journalists is one of the disadvantages of the technology in the field of journalism. The people, especially politicians, can threat the journalists who shares data against their favor. So the journalists are forced to write the information and data that are favorable for the images of political and economic leaders. The economic pressure is another disadvantages. The work for the journalists are getting easier and decreased as technology gets advanced. Use of digital media is in the field of journalism is rapidly increasing nowadays, so that there is economic crisis among the journalists as their work is getting easier and simple day by day. And in this paper, I tried to find out whether the advancement is technology helped the journalists or harmed them. And I got both advantages and disadvantages. And major advantages to journalists with the technological advancement is to it helped to save their time. There are many media tools that help them in their work, and which that make their job easy. Artificial intelligence platform, and to reach out the audience or the public at any time. Virtual reality are some of the advantages, and the disadvantages are the spread of fabricated contents, threats against journalists, economical pressures. After the keen observation of the benefits and drawbacks of the technology for journalists, it can be concluded that the benefits of the technology overweigh the cons of technology. So, in my opinion, technology is a benefit for the journalist if it is used well. And thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You have done a very good journey, right from mobile phone through VR camera, Google Glass, artificial intelligence, and also you reached virtual reality. And we should remember that technology is a walking stick to a stooping person. Okay? Technology is not the be all and end all of our life. It's of course a useful tool. And in media also it is having its role. You have made the presentation in a very good manner. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And I hope that there will be questions in the end of the session. We will do that. Please
Oh, thank
remain in the or attend virtually. Okay.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Next presenter is Ardhana. And Ardhana is going to speak us about the role of privacy concerns in using social media. Ardhana, are you ready? Ardhana?
Hi, sir.
Okay, very good morning. You are welcome to present your paper.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, you have 12 minutes, okay?
Okay,
Okay, start.
okay. My paper is about privacy concerns in using social media. First is about the social media. It's a group of new kind of online media that people can access to anyone. And it made a vast change in the people's way of life. It's a tool to document memories, explore things. And first thing is Facebook. It's a popular social media network, and it is started by Mark Zuckerberg, as we know. It was started in 2004, and there were so many privacy issues in Facebook. And next one is Instagram. After this Facebook, it is now so much popular, and it is started in 2010 by Kevin Systrom and Mike Rieger. And another is Twitter, and it's a microblogging site that allows the users to send a text message of 140 characters, and it is started by Jack Dorsey and in 2006. And apart from all this social media, there came some cyber crimes also. If we use it is good, but if we use it if we use like misusing things, it will affect negatively. And there are so many cyber crimes. It's any activity involving a computer, network, or network device for criminal means. And Facebook recently removed 8.2 million items of content on bullying and harassment. And Meta, the parent company of Facebook, removed more than 400 malicious iOS and Android apps in 2022 because of increasing this cyber crimes. And first cybercrime is hacking. It's an unauthorized activity in which a user who attempts to get access to an information system. If I use my friend's mobile phone for getting some information or downloading a film without getting permission from my friend, it is also called as hacking. And it's a serious crime if you copy an information as an unauthorized person. And another one is cyber stalking. It is like we are using internet to harass someone or disturbing someone regularly and continuously. It's by claiming some false accusation or threatening them. It is called cyber stalking. And another one is cyber pornography, like using children for getting pornographed by the use of internet, and it's a sexual exploitation through internet. And another one is phishing. Phishing, like acquiring sensitive information such as username, password, credit card details by disguising as a trustworthy entity in an electronic communication. Like if your password and username, credit card, it's all very sensitive information. So if someone is getting access to our such things, it's called phishing. And there are password sniffers, that is running a program in our computer, but we are not aware of that thing. It's a program, and it will monitor and record our password, username, and all. It's a serious cybercrime. And there is cyber terrorism, like in this digital era, cyber online network is using for doing terrorism, for threatening a country. It may be for the civilian population for political and social objectives. Maybe by some religious associations and all. There are so many cyber terrorism is happening all over the world. And there is ransomware. It is attacking your network by network and demanding some money as reward. If attacked by infecting your network and locking down your data and computer system until a ransom is paid to the hacker. We have to pay some money for getting our information, resulting there will be a financial loss, data loss, and productivity waste. Around 236.1 million ransomware attacks have been reported worldwide in the first half of 2022. In this until June, there were 236.1 million ransomware attacks happened. And now we are going to look some cyber attacks. One is Modi's Twitter account has hacked in 2021 December, and in that Modi's all the tweet accounts are removed and the new tweets are appeared, and people are embraced like Bitcoin as legalized in Modi's Twitter account. Like it is actually not legalized, but in his tweet it was like Bitcoin as a legal tender. And our UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also faced this hacking, like profile picture changed, hundreds of new tweets were uploaded, several old tweets were deleted. It has all happened in 2021. And another one is Delhi AIMS ransomware attack. And a hospital, in that hospital there were so many patient details were hacked, and we thought that it was like a ransomware, but later we knew that it is from China side, and it was a major cyber attack. And another one is Air India data breach, where all passengers' details were hacked, and their credit card details, passport, birth dates, name, and ticket information all were hacked in this Air India data leak. And it was also happened in 2021. And there were a Pegasus. It was a political thing, and Pegasus is actually a Israel company where some opposition parties were claiming that our government is leaking our people's information to them, but we don't know that it is continuing that issue. And so many opposition leaders, ministers, political journalists, minority leaders, Supreme Court judge, all of their telecommunication conversations and everything is leaked through this Pegasus spyware. And there are, after all, there are Indian government's cyber security associations certain where we can complain about a cyber crimes. It's a big thing, and there are so many cyber laws. First of all, there happened to protect the freedom of privacy in social media. We have this IT Act, and it was in 2000, and it was later amended in 2008. And there were so many sections, like section 65 for tampering with the computer source document, section 66 for using password of another person, section 66C for publishing private images of others, 66F for acts of cyber terrorism, and 67 for publishing child porn or predating children online, and 59 for government's power to block websites. And how to tackle cyber attacks? Keep your software and system fully up to date. We have to regularly update our mobile phones and systems. It is the first thing. And we should install a firewall. It will protect our computer from all spyware and everything, and back up your data. In this case, we got all the details suddenly because of that hospital back up the data regularly. So we got all the information back. And control access to your system, having control over who can access your data. We should not do this access option to all the time. So we have to restrict. Don't allow everyone to access your data, and there should be a Wi-Fi security, and we have to access management, having managed admin rights and blocking your staff in a company or institution. We have to do this access management and passwords. We have to regularly change and do a and put a high level of protection, like a high quality password, like putting digits and capital letters and all, and proper awareness provided to common people about cyber crimes and cyber laws. We should be aware of cyber laws and various cyber threats in facing today by our people. These are the things I had to discuss with you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Much on time. Very punctual.
Thank you, sir.
Crimes and also hacking, for example, hacking, then password snipers, cyber terrorism, and the problem so what all steps the government is taking for preventing all these cyber crimes. So that was very useful, and thank you for the effort taken to present this paper, and please remain at your side so that we will be passing on to the next presenter, Mr. Raghu MD, and he will be speaking on disintegration of media ethics. Welcome, Mr. Raghu.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, all. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Yes.
Hello, good morning, all. Am I audible?
And you are visible, no problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. So once again, good morning, all, and myself, Raghu MD. Today, I would like to thank, first of all, the organizers of this national seminar to give me an opportunity to present my paper on disintegration of media ethics and a study on the repercussion of agenda-setting media policies on Article 19(1)(a). So now I'm moving to my presentation. Just a minute.
Raghu, it seems. Hello.
My screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, you can proceed.
Sorry, is it visible? My screen is visible.
It was visible, but now, yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So as we all know, the media is one of the important tools in the society, and we are using media for different purposes. So today I'm going to talk about the disintegration of media ethics, a study on the repercussion of agenda setting media policies on Article 19(1)(a). So the independent journalism can strengthen the democracy, and visual media and print media holds a pivotal role in Indian society, and being recognized as a fourth pillar of democracy, a world without media is unimaginable. The role of media in eliminating corruption, crimes, and various social evils in the society and bringing out the culprit is a crucial one. And it is indubitable that the help of media is inevitable for legally fighting the justice and providing in the society, and to channel the investigation in the right direction. And the Constitution has guaranteed ample consideration for media rights in these regards. And recently, there are a lot of discussion is happening regarding the press freedom and the media freedom. And the arrival of visual media has paved a way of aggressive competition in the field of media, essentially of a serious approach towards the failures of media and media persons. On this regards, it's often neglected. And in the initial days or the earlier days, media is one of the very important prominent tool to stood for the social welfare and well-being. Initially, the print media stood for the social welfare, and so many predominant persons have approached their different ways, and they contributed a lot of things in the field of media. For example, if we say the persons like Balagangadhar Tilak or Swadeshabhimani Ramakrishna, and even our national father of our nation, Gandhiji, and so many persons contributed different things in the past media days, and people trust what is familiar to them. That means if something come to media, the people is always trusted them. They consider media as the primary source of information. And at now, media today, most of the people opt media for financial benefits only, and the media today is controlled not only by the political or religious influences but also the financial too. And with the advantage of such a trend in the press freedom has went astray and become a cause for the public nuisance. And also there are an aggressive competition happening in the field of media, and the media today is totally controlled by the political or the religious or the business persons. And the press freedom has nowadays completely went or going through a different scenario. And here is the importance of Article 19(1) and press freedom is coming. According to Article 19(1)(a), in the Constitution of India, all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression. In a democratic country like India, each citizen believes that the freedom of speech and expression is one of the prime liberties granted to them, and it acts as the base for the other rights such as the freedom of the press, which in turns out to be an effective way to bring up a generation who are well informed about their constitutional rights. And it was constituted with the aim of securing a platform to make. Actually, the aim of the Article 19 and press freedom is to secure a marginalized and minority community to express their voice. The media representing the common people, as I said earlier. And conspicuously, the right to freedom of speech and expressions comes along with the right to publish and circulate one's idea and opinions and other views to complete the freedom, and by resorting all the available means of publication. And it is often seen that the Article 19 is misread or misinterpreted by the media persons. Freedom of expressions help one to enhance, to diverse the cultural expressions and overall personal development through the self-expressions. And on the other hand, the right to privacy should also be considered essential for safeguarding an individual's freedom. Actually, there are a lot of discussion is happening in the field and regarding the Article 19(1)(a) freedom of speech and expression, and also the press freedom, how it is happening in the India and in other countries, how the freedom of press is taken in a positive or in a negative manner. And in a recent trends, the core value of freedom of speech and expression, and media has deliberately taken the freedom of expression for granted and thereby use it as a weapon to initiate the agendas or ideologies which they stand for. This is very important to consider nowadays. And compared to the olden days, when it was carried out in an indirect way, now the media are confidently portray it as their policy. It can be considered as a blatant breach of Article 19(1)(a). And for instance, in certain media enterprises, the anchors or the presenters, maybe they are the news presenters, anchors of the programs, they are hosting the debates and discussion, invite politicians and social workers and ask questions framed as per the agenda of the respective channel. Such anchors are clearly going against the media code. Actually, the prime discussions happening in our news channels and all over the India, the prime time debates or discussions happening the current issues. When we look into the perspective nowadays, the media persons or the anchor or the person who present the content, they are having a specific agenda. They are trying to imply the agenda throughout the discussions. And when we consider the prominent persons like Kuldeep Nayyar, he is one of the famous old journalists, a veteran journalist, who wrote to Miss Indira Gandhi soon after she imposed the emergency. He said like this: if newspapers have criticized the government, it is largely because of its sluggish administration and slow progress in the country and in the economy field. The gap between the promises and performances. And my concept of a pre-press is to ferret out the truth and let the public know. This is a very famous quotation made by a veteran journalist Kuldeep Nayyar at the time of emergency. Mrs. Indira Gandhi declared the emergency period. At that time, he wrote to Gandhi this sentence. And such ethics are absent in certain groups of current generation of journalists, and they are enforcing their agenda by providing the anchors with carte blanche, which no way could be justified. Hello?
2 more minutes.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay, I'm going to wind up, sir.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir, I'm going to wind up, sir. Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. You can continue up to 2 minutes maximum.
Am I audible, sir?
Very much audible.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, so I have only 2 minutes left. I need to talk something more, but now I'm going to wind up this. While considering the media ownership pattern in India, we can see that the media ownership in India is nowadays, the media is owned by so many business families and individuals along with the numerous investors in the form of joint stock companies, societies and trusts. If we consider these infographics, we can see a lot of prominent personalities and business persons are there. Mukesh Ambani is there, Gautam Adani is there, and Goenka family, and also the Kalanidhi Maran, and so many persons are there. If we consider these infographics, we can clearly say that the media is owned by a lot of business person, and we all aware about these person, how they are contributing to the society, and maybe so many different opinions are there, maybe positive opinions are there, negative opinions are there, but this picture clearly says that we know that this is the current condition of Indian media. Actually, the Indian media is carried out by so many business persons. And so I'm winding up like this, that through presenting the absolute facts with all possible interpretations and justifications, the media is influencing the readers from reaching their own conclusions. The media post truth era strives it mold the public, and from time to time, through thick and thin, media stood for the right for the information, even in absence of advanced technologies. And So-called professionalism media worked as the strongest tool of democracy in that time, and also the media having hidden agendas, and the media monopolies are fabricating and thereby inculcating the public consciousness and which reflect the policies and interest of the ruling party. And hereby I'm concluding that I want to say that the media has already lost the dignity of being so-called fourth estate. Actually, we are calling media as a fourth estate, but now we can say that media is not doing their responsibility and duty sometimes as a fourth estate. That's all about my presentation, and thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I know that it's a very difficult process to control your topic within 10 or 12 minutes, but you have made a very sincere effort. And as you
Exactly, sir.
in many nations, the media is controlled by the corporates.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
But on the other hand, the corporates claim that they have contributed all this modern technology after their research. It's a process or the product of
Yeah.
research and development that has taken place in the laboratories of these corporates. They claim so. And you have also said about the role of media in controlling
Exactly.
values are also necessary. Right from Swadesha Abhimani Ramakrishna Pilla through Gandhiji, you have made a very good journey. Thank you very much. Okay, next.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, and thank you all.
Sylvia, and she will be.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sylvia Thomas, and my topic is portrayal of street-level bureaucracies in films. Let me switch to the PPT. So for the present study, we took the film Manikya. So let me begin with what is street-level bureaucracy. We all know that bureaucracy is that part of executive branch of government which implement laws and public policies. And the level at which public policies reach the public or the services delivered to public is called the street level. So simply, street level bureaucracy means a practice done by the lowest level of bureaucrats who implements public policies and who have direct contact with the citizens. So they act as the frontline workers of government agencies because they are the one who implements or delivers the services to the general public. So the street level bureaucracy comprises of police officers, doctors, nurses, firefighters, public school teachers, etc. So what are the features or what's the nature of street level bureaucracy? First of all, I already mentioned that they are the connecting link between the government and the public. They are act as the link between government as well as policymakers and citizens, and they show significant discretion and autonomy in the implementation of policies because they have to confront situations in which they have to depart from their service ideals, because in sometimes the situations may not be the policy framers may not may not be able to clearly say all the things what will happen in the street level. So these street level bureaucrats sometimes they depart from their service ideals in order to satisfy the expectations or needs of the public. So the working conditions of the street level bureaucrats shape their behavior. So, what are the some common conditions which affects the work experiences of street level bureaucrats? Such as conditions such as unavailability of resources, threats including physical and psychological threats, ambiguous role expectations from the part of government as well as the citizens, and a non-voluntary clientele who do not serve as a primary reference group, and the limited control of clientele performance. All these conditions shape the behavior of street level bureaucrats. So, in order to cope these challenges or confront these situations, managers help street level bureaucrats to implement psychological and organizational strategies to achieve the goals, such as simplification of procedures and routinization of procedures, compartmentalization and transfer of responsibility, segmentation and control of the client population. So these are some of the strategies employed by the street level bureaucrats in order to confront the situations. So what is the significance or what is the role played by street level bureaucrats in the societies? They act as a policy interpreters in the process of public policies, because they are the one who delivers the services to the citizens. They make direct contact with the citizens. So they act as the human face of the policies, because they make appropriate decisions which are appropriate for the clients and appropriate for the situations. So they have close interactions with the citizens, so they can make tremendous impact on the lives of public. And also the street level consumes a major portion of the public budget, because it includes numerous transactions and labor intensive tasks. And as the population increases, the demand for the services also increases. This also causes increase in the demands of street level bureaucrats. That is why the street level bureaucrats play an important role in the society. They have a significant role in our society. So what is the difference between a bureaucracy or bureaucrat and street level bureaucracy or a bureaucrat? Street level bureaucrats have a direct contact with the public. They are the one who delivers the services. Civil servants or simply the bureaucrats are the policy makers. They make policies, they frame policies. And street level bureaucrats implements these policies, or they translate what is in the paper to the reality. So they have direct contact with the public. So that is the major difference between the bureaucrat and a street level bureaucrat. There are several success stories of street level bureaucrats, especially in the time of pandemic. We saw that the role played by the street level bureaucrats, especially healthcare professionals, ASHA workers, food industry workers, all played a significant role in the time of pandemic. And there are several films portraying the street level bureaucracies, their struggles, their hardships, the challenges faced by them, and how they overcome these challenges and achieve their target. Okay, all these are featured in several films. Some of the famous films portraying street level bureaucracies are shown in this slide. So for the present study, we took the film Manikkalam. It's directed by N. Mohanan, starring Prithviraj Sukumaran and Samvrida Sunal in the lead roles. The story of the film is about a government school that had a glorious past, but now it is on the verge of being shut down because there are only few students enrolled there. and the teachers are not dedicated, they are not committed to the school, and they don't have any hope about making a difference in the situation. To this situation, a young teacher, Vinay Chandran, played by Prithviraj Sukumaran, comes and makes a difference with his sheer perseverance and a dedication. He makes changes in the school. He make changes in the attitude of teachers, students, and the villagers. And at last, with the help of all the villagers, students, and teachers, they made a good result in the school. Let me show you some clips of the movie so that you will get a clear idea about this.
ഒരു സരസ്വതി ക്ഷേത്രമുള്ള കാര്യം ഡിഒക്ക് പോലും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടാവില്ലല്ലോ. ആ ആ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഏതാണ്ട് മനസ്സിലായി കാണുമല്ലോ. ചുരുക്കി പറഞ്ഞാൽ കുത്തഴിഞ്ഞ ഒരു പുസ്തകമാണ് ഈ സ്കൂള്. പല സബ്ജക്റ്റും പഠിപ്പിക്കാൻ ആളില്ല. ഈ കണക്ക് കൂടാതെ
സാർ പേടിക്കണ്ട, PT
So these clips show the pathetic condition of the school when first he joins for the first time. And later, after joining, first he faced several challenges. He was not supported by the principal. The principal used the school as a warehouse for his fertilizers, for keeping his fertilizers, and other teachers also. They have other businesses apart from being a teacher. And the students or the teachers or the parents were not impressed about the functioning of the school. And later, after seeing his actions, his efforts, teachers, students, and parents came to support him. And with their help, he could prevent child marriage and prevent children being used as carriers. And he conducted internal assessment tests for removing exam fear from the students, and he motivated students, nurtured skills in the students. And with the help of all these villagers, at last he could bring significant changes in the school and make good results in the school. Let me show you some one more video clip. So all the students who enrolled in the yes sir.
Hello, you have 2 minutes more, okay?
Yes sir. I'll conclude within 2 minutes. So all the students who were enrolled in the 10th were passed with good marks. So from this movie, we saw how a street level bureaucrat, how a teacher can bring significant changes in the lives of citizens or in his clients. So despite the challenges and the struggles, with the commitment and integrity, the teacher teacher provided services to the students by deviating from the traditional mode of teaching with using his discretionary powers and autonomy. He made some policy changes, he made policy interpretations and implemented those policies in the society. So this film clearly depicts the work of a street level bureaucrats, what they do or how they do their work and how they contribute to the society. Thank you.
Okay, Sylvia, congratulations. What actually you have brought clear is the fact that how democracy could be brought at the grassroots level. Normally, we know that there is a long gap between the theory and practice. So, democratic principles should be brought at the ground level or the grassroots level. And with the help of this film, you have tried to prove that. Thank you very much, and thank you for being having kept the time. Okay, now the floor is open for discussions, and anybody who wants to ask questions about the papers presented here can ask. You are free to ask questions. It doesn't cost anything but earns a lot. So can I proceed on the assumption that you have agreed to all the points raised here? We call as the connected to artificial intelligence. I fear that whether there will be transferring the knowledge through hearing and seeing. Okay? Now, when this virtual reality becomes a reality, so to say, in the field of media, you can see, you can hear, you can touch, you can smell, and you can taste. That is going to happen. All the five senses are going to be replaced by the most modern technology that would happen within the next decade. It's already happened. It has already happened in some corners of the world, in advanced nations. So there won't be any need of media even. That is what I fear. There won't be any need of doctors, even engineers. And machines are going to replace every human organ, both sensory as well as the human muscles. You know, the first step in technical revolution was, or technological revolution was, that our muscles were replaced by machines. You look in your kitchen, our home kitchen, grinding, even for washing plates and for all those things which were done by human muscles were replaced by machines. And what happened? Even our automobile revolution. And automobile revolution has lessened the effort of our leg muscles. We don't need to walk anymore. And what is the consequence? The net result is that lifestyle diseases. Okay? Do you agree with that? Lifestyle diseases occurred because of the too much mechanization that has undertaken in the society in the name of technological revolution. And now what is going as the next step? The next stage of revolution is what we call as started with calculators, television, then mobile phones and all sort of things, where a situation has come in which I don't know the phone number of my wife even, because I need not remember that. My phone will remind me every time by a single touch the phone number of my wife, my children, and everybody whom I want to call. So, if mechanization has resulted in lifestyle disease, what will be the consequence of digitalization of life? We are going to see, we are going to witness that. I can't foretell, but there will be severe side effects for that also. And how media is going to be affected by this is to be thought of very seriously. It may replace the present jobs done by the media persons, no doubt. That's all what I have to respond with regard to your question. I don't know whether you are satisfied or not. Anyway, the four speakers were, so to say, from the part of the chairperson, effortlessly they have stopped their presentation the right time. And I congratulate all the presenters for having kept the time, because being punctual is very difficult in this world. Can I take 2 more minutes, Father? Yeah. Once we were attending a meeting in Kottayam. That was the meeting of the researchers. And one VIP there was none other than Dr. K. Gopalan, the Vice Chancellor of Cochin University, the former Vice Chancellor. He was a very, very good educationist, thinker, and philosopher. And the time set was 10 o'clock. Dr. Gopalan was such a punctual person that for every meeting he would reach the place 5 minutes before. And as usual, for this meeting also, he reached the Kottayam venue exactly at 9:55. 10 o'clock was supposed to start the meeting. When he reached the hall, only the organizers were there, no participants. And the meeting started around about 10:20, 10:30. Then he made a comment, being punctual means waiting for others. And I have to say that in this meeting, more or less we started on time. That's a very great thing in this very busy world. And that itself shows how much we are committed. As I said, number is immaterial. Great changes are made by single persons who were profound in their principles. You know, the commitment, the sincerity, the devotion of the mind which we apply cannot be challenged by any physical force. Be it army or navy or air force or police, the willpower of persons who are principled in their life cannot be challenged. They will make changes. And as media persons, your greatest challenge would be to adhere to these principles. That's why media ethics comes. To adhere to these principles is very difficult. And you are being taught relentlessly that freedom, freedom, freedom. But how much freedom? How are we free? How much we are free? Even the air we breathe is not brought by us. See? And there is an American story which I used to say, Michael sir knows that. What is the limit of your freedom to swing your hands? Where another's nose, the opposite coming person's nose begins. If I swing like this and hit his nose, he will go to court and argue for compensation. And then I may argue that it is my freedom while walking on public roads to swing my hands. Yes, but the judge asked, have you got the freedom while swinging your hands to hit another person's nose? No, we don't have. So my freedom to swing hands stops where another's nose begins. Freedom has also got limits and limitations that we should remember. We are not 100% free. That's the rhythm of nature. And when we are speaking about the freedom, there is no ultimate sense freedom. In the ultimate sense, we are not free. There is a rhythm for the beating of the heart. 72 times it may beat per minute. You are not free from that. There is a rhythm for your breathing. There is a rhythm known as the circadian rhythm, where there is a rhythm for the blood circulation, where the 24 hours a day and the seasons in 3 or 4 months, it will go on repeating. The earth takes 365 days to revolve around the sun. So these are all the natural limitations or the rhythm of nature to which the laws and regulations of the society is to be adjusted. So we are not free ultimately. We cannot be free like that. But within certain restraints we can be free. And that freedom should result in the welfare of myself and the society and my family. That is it. I used to say this saying, Alpmano mochartham jagat hidayacha. We should find freedom of ourselves. We should be self-reliant and we should fight for our rights. But at the same time, that should not be detrimental to another person. This is the principle. And with these words, I like to conclude my presidential speech of this session, which I found very much useful, not in numbers, but in the quality of presentation as well as the degree of attention which you have paid for it. So let this seminar be an incentive for coming many seminars, and let new ideas be disseminated through these seminars. And I congratulate the Media Studies Department for having conducted this. And thank you very much.
Good morning all. I extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. T.V. Murali Vallaban sir for accepting our invitation for moderating the session. Thank you sir for your valuable inputs and sharing your precious time with us. I thank all the presenters and audience present here. Thank you. Now we will be having a short break. The next session will start at 12.
for the kind attention of the online presenters. Please share your address to Sabida Nasir. I have already informed you in the group. Please kindly share your address to Sabida Nasir. It is just to send the certificate by post. Thank you.
right now.
Sohi Gio and Krista Stephen, The Negative Shades of Trolls and Roasting, an Analysis. Ayush and Gloria, Influence of Friendline Politics over Journalist Technology. Sandra and Krishna, an Analysis of Portrait of Families in Malayalam Cinema. Welcome and over to you, sir.
So, hello, am I audible? Yes. My unconditional apology. That happens whenever there is a technology applied, it can happen. As Dr. Michael will be knowing, when Microsoft launched its 2000 version in Delhi, country launch, what has happened on the final moment, on the D-Day, it didn't work. Likewise, I wanted to be here by 11, but I landed up by 12:25. So that is, it is your day, not my day, I believe. Okay, Father Sobi, my previous boss, Dr. Michael Pudantara, and dear friends. I will not be taking much of your time because we want to listen to the three papers which are ready for their presentations. On May 24th edition of 2021, I am referring, Outlook, carried a cover story. Its title was Missing. Name of the person or the corpus or the organization which is missing is the Government of India. Age 7 years. The finder may inform the citizens. This was the title page of the Outlook Weekly, published in 2021, May 24. Can you name the editor of that particular magazine at that point of time? Anybody? Huge hue and cry were in the air, in the social media during that time. And he has authored a book later, after he being ousted from that position within a short span of 2 years. Sorry, 1 year, one month or so. His name is Reuben, can you feel? Reuben Banerjee. Okay. The story was intended to express the anguish of the citizenry on the inaction of the Government of India on the second wave, when the second wave of COVID commenced. Anyway, rest is history. Within a short while, Reuben was out from the organization and he is into other fields of activity. Anyway, the topic being democracy, media, as well as judiciary. All three pillars have been covered, but excepting the fourth one, or not the fourth one, but executive is omitted in the title. Anyway, we are not into going deep into that. I am confining myself to the three papers which we are going to listen to. The instances which I have mentioned earlier about the Reuben has been in the vogue right from pre-independence era, post-independence era, during the emergency, and even afterwards. It was not, when there was dynasties, the same situation was arising. When a story is being carried, published by a journal, a newspaper, a channel, a social media, the authorities who were controlling at that point of time came up with a whip. Finally, it may be an ousting, they may be losing their revenues, the person in charge may be outcasted from the community means journalistic community or the in the circles of the official. That is a anyway, the Department of Communication and Media Studies of Marian College Kuttikkanam has come up with the topic role of media and judiciary in the protection of democracy. I believe that is in this backdrop that the authorities, the HOD, might have chosen this particular topic for discussion. Is the media independent? Is it free? Is it powerful? Is it proactive? Anyway, we say that it is the cornerstone of our democracy. Vox populi mostly is the dictum. Voice of the people voice of the people is divine. Whether that is being adhered to, accepted in the modern scenario, that is a question to be answered. From the age of angel system, you know, angel, when physically the messages were transferred to the person, if a person dies here, probably he may be knowing that particular incident, maybe 6 days, 7 days afterwards. Later we came up with telegram, afterwards telephone. Now, which is the gadget which you cannot live without? Which is the gadget? Smartphone. Am I right? Okay. Anyway, now in the era of internet, where instant messages have become a reality, and that too with added charm and frills, with the opportunity for infotainment, a deviation from information dissemination, infotainment, using the technologies like virtual reality, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, robotics, AI, etc. In the last century, Mr. John Bogart had defined news as when a dog bites a man, that is not news, no news, because it happens so often. But if a man bites a dog, that is news. In the new millennium, at least in Kerala, we are coming up with front page stories, exclusive stories, evening news, and even 1 hour news analysis session when 3 or 4 watchdogs, the so-called watchdogs within inverted commas, barks at each other in an ocean of misunderstanding, malinformation, gossiping, hearsays, inputs, lie-laden grapevine, trolls, roasting, and bullying. Fact-checking mechanisms in the media houses have been hit badly by the virus of political rivalry, nepotism, terrifying religious toxins, terrorism, and communalism. Media men and media personalities transformed themselves into propagandists. The difference between propaganda and publicity you might have already learned. Instead of their principal position of an unbiased umpire. Thus, watchdogs became lapdogs, LAP. Media sense, rather common sense, got poisoned with sensationalization. News are thrown out of the newsroom, replacing it with noise, dramatization, entertainment, and skillfully engineered controversies to rake up issues based on non-issues. Rat race among media houses for breaking lives has spoiled the journalistic ecosystem and camaraderie among the journalists. Impatience clubbed with their irrational outlook worsened the scenario. Equity got undermined. Instant reporting in social media served as brewing pots for religious animosity. Political war rooms, researches into hair-splitting lie bombs. Pseudo street fights became rampant. Is democracy failing to uphold the principles of democracy, government of the people, for the people, and by the people? Is the onslaught of techno-revolution sweeping the mankind? What is the role of media in protecting, promoting, nurturing democracy? Today, we will be having 3 papers in this session which deals with technological inroads, its impacts in the media functioning. Shades of trolls and roasting, and a peep into the Mollywood on the portrayal of familial relations that is being discussed. Mr. Sohijon, is it Mr. or Miss? Sohijio. Okay. And Christo Stephen. Okay. Is presenting their findings on the negative shades of trolls and roasting. Is it the first paper or this? Is it the first one? First one, okay. Is roasting or cyberbullying legal? Is it legal in Indian context? Yes, it is. In the Indian context, if it doesn't turn into slander or libel. Where is the freedom of expression? Where does the freedom of expression ends? When there is a one-to-one communication? Freedom of the person who is communicating, where does it end? When does the communication become defamatory? Any suggestion? When it touches your nose, the person to whom you are communicating, there ends your freedom. Expression is also like that. When the words you are uttering becomes defamatory, you are punishable under IPC. Generally, one can look up troll as why this, for what, for whom. It is not harmful. it is not infusing, if it is not infusing toxic concepts, then it is allowable. Wet blank trolls are generally energy suckers. That is just to ruin the pleasant discussion with overloaded negative energy or other negativity. Void trolls is really intended to hurt you, which comes under the wet blanket category. Let us listen to the story being brought out by Joe as well as Christopher Stephen.
A warm good afternoon to each and everyone gathered here, both physically and verbally. My name is Christopher Stephen. With me, so is Gio Tom. The title of our presentation or our study is The Negative Shades of Internet Trolling and Analysis. കത്തി കറിക്കരിയുവാനും കഴുത്തെരിയുവാനും ഉപകരിക്കും. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ട്രോളുകൾ നന്മയ്ക്കായും തിന്മയ്ക്കായും നമുക്ക് ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. ഞങ്ങളുടെ പഠനം മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നത് ട്രോൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്ന ദൂഷ്യവശങ്ങളെക്കുറിച്ചാണ്. കുഞ്ചൻ നമ്പ്യാർ, തെന്നാലി രാമൻ, നസറുദ്ദീൻ മുല്ല ഇവർ 3 പേരും ആക്ഷേപഹാസ്യം കൊണ്ട് സാമൂഹിക പ്രശ്നങ്ങളെ മുൻനിരയിലേക്ക് എത്തിച്ചപ്പോൾ ആധുനിക ട്രോളുകൾ പലപ്പോഴും പല പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾക്കും കാരണമാകാറുണ്ട്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ്. പല ഗവേഷകന്മാരും പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള നിരീക്ഷണമനുസരിച്ച് ഇൻ്റർനെറ്റ് ട്രോൾസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പ്രൊവോക്കേറ്റീവ് ഓർ ഇൻസൾട്ടിംഗ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്സ് with the objective of attracting attention, inciting conflict or offending someone. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സ് ആരാണെന്ന് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയെങ്കിലേ ഈ പഠനത്തിനെക്കുറിച്ച് കൂടുതൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോകാൻ പറ്റുകയുള്ളൂ. ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയിൽ ധാരാളം ഫോളോവേഴ്സ് ഉള്ള, അതേസമയം ഒരു കൂട്ടം ആൾക്കാരെ നന്നായിട്ട് സ്വാധീനിക്കാൻ കഴിവുള്ള സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ യൂസേഴ്സാണ് ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സ്. ഇന്നത്തെ കാലത്ത് ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സ് ആവുക എന്നത് ഒരു ട്രെൻഡിങ് ആയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവർക്ക് നേരെയുള്ള ദൂഷണങ്ങളും അവർക്ക് നേരെയുള്ള വിമർശനങ്ങളും ട്രോളുകളും വർദ്ധിച്ചു വരുന്നൊരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിൽ ഈ പഠനം അത്യന്താപേക്ഷിതമാണ്. ഞങ്ങളുടെ പഠനം മുന്നോട്ട് പോകുന്നത് പല യൂട്യൂബ് റെസ്പോൺസസിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നേരത്തെ ശേഖരിച്ച് വെച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന സെക്കൻഡറി ഡേറ്റ അസസ്മെൻറ്റിലൂടെയാണ്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ്. അവർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്തെന്ന് അവരറിയുന്നില്ല. പലപ്പോഴും ട്രോളുകൾ ഉണ്ടാകുന്നത് പലപ്പോഴും തമാശ എന്ന രീതിയിൽ അവർ തുടങ്ങുന്ന ഓരോ സംഭവങ്ങളാണ്. പലപ്പോഴും അതിന് പിന്നിൽ മറ്റുള്ളവർ വേദനിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് ചിലർ അറിയുന്നുണ്ട്, ചിലർ അറിയുന്നില്ല. ഈ പഠനം കൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് സമൂഹത്തിലേക്കും ഈ ട്രോളുകൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നവരിലേക്കും അവരുടെ പ്രവൃത്തി മൂലം ഒരുപറ്റം ആൾക്കാർ വേദനിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, അവർ പലപ്പോഴും മനോവിഷമത്തിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നവരെ അറിയിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയാണ്. ട്രോളുകൾ പലപ്പോഴും മനുഷ്യൻ്റെ മാനസിക നിലയിൽ തന്നെ തെറ്റിക്കുന്നതിലേക്ക് എത്തിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. പലപ്പോഴും ഡിപ്രഷൻ, ആങ്സൈറ്റി തുടങ്ങിയ രോഗാവസ്ഥയിലേക്കും ട്രോളുകളുടെ തെറ്റായ സ്വാധീനങ്ങൾ മനുഷ്യന്മാരെ കൊണ്ടെത്തിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നെക്സ്റ്റ് സ്ലൈഡ്. ഈ ട്രോളുകൾക്ക് ഇരയാക്കപ്പെടുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ ഏറ്റവും അധികമായിട്ടും അവരുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ കണ്ടുവരുന്നതാണ് ഒരു ഒറ്റപ്പെടുന്ന ഒരു സ്വഭാവം, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവർക്ക് ആത്മവിശ്വാസക്കുറവ്, സ്വയമുള്ള ഒരു ബോധ്യത്തിൽ നിന്ന് അവർ അകന്നു പോവുക എന്നൊക്കെയുള്ളത്. ഈ സ്ലൈഡിൽ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന പോലെ നമ്മുടെ റോസി വില്യംസ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു പ്രശസ്ത ടാലൻറ്റ് ഷോയിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത ഒരു സ്ത്രീയുണ്ട്, ഒരു വലിയൊരു ഫാഷനിസ്റ്റാണ്. ആ പുള്ളിക്കാരിക്ക് ട്രോൾസിനിടയ്ക്ക്, അതായത് ട്രോൾ ഉണ്ടായത് മൂലം പുള്ളിക്കാരി ഡിപ്രഷനിലേക്ക് പോവുകയുണ്ടായി. അപ്പം പുള്ളിക്കാരി പറഞ്ഞത് ഇതാണ്: someone commented me about my nose and it was big. ഇവിടെ നടന്നത് ശരിക്കും കാൾ റോജേഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ സെൻറ്റേഡ് തിയറിയിലൂടെ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന ഒരു കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റാണ്. ഒരു മനുഷ്യന് ഐഡിയൽ സെൽഫും റിയൽ സെൽഫും ഉണ്ട്. ഐഡിയൽ സെൽഫ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഐഡിയലി, അതായത് ആരായി തീരണമെന്ന് അവർക്കൊരു ബോധ്യം ഉണ്ടാകും. റിയൽ സെൽഫ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അവരാരായിരുന്നു, ഇപ്പോൾ അവരാരാണ് എന്ന് അനുസരിച്ചാണ്. റിയൽ സെൽഫിൽ ഇവിടെ റോസി വില്യംസിൻ്റെ കേസിൽ റിയൽ സെൽഫ് ഐഡിയൽ സെൽഫും ആദ്യമേ ഇവ തമ്മിലുള്ള അന്തരം വളരെ കുറവായിരുന്നു. പിന്നീട് വന്നപ്പോൾ ഇത്തരം ട്രോളുകൾ ഇവ തമ്മിലുള്ള ദൂരം വിസ്തൃതമാക്കുകയും ഉള്ളിലൊരു കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുകയും റോസി വില്യംസിനെ ഡിപ്രഷനിലേക്ക് നയിക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു. ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഭാഗമായിട്ട് തന്നെ വരുന്നതാണ് ബോഡി ഷെയ്മിങ്. പലപ്പോഴും ട്രോളുകൾ നമ്മുടെ സെലിബ്രിറ്റീസിനെയും ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസേഴ്സിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ ബോഡി ഷെയ്മിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഉപകരണങ്ങളായിട്ട് ഉപകരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പം അതവരെ ഒരുപാട് തളർത്തി കളയുന്നൊരു മേഖലയിലേക്ക് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ജെൻഡർ ഡിസ്ക്രിമിനേഷൻ എല്ലാ മേഖലയിലും നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് തന്നെ എനിക്ക് ഉറപ്പാണ് ഒരു 100 പേരെങ്കിലും വിവേചനത്തിന് ഇരയായിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. പ്രത്യേകിച്ചും ഈ ട്രോളുകളിലൂടെ ജെൻഡർ ഡിസ്ക്രിമിനേഷൻ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. ജെൻഡർ ഡിസ്ക്രിമിനേഷൻ എന്ന് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പുരുഷന്മാരും സ്ത്രീകളും ഒരേപോലെ ട്രോളുകൾ ഏറ്റുവാങ്ങാറുണ്ടെങ്കിലും സ്ത്രീകൾ കൂടുതലായി ട്രോളുകൾക്ക് ഇരയാക്കപ്പെടുന്നതായി നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. ഇതെന്തുകൊണ്ടാണെന്ന് ചിന്തിച്ചാൽ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ സാധിക്കാവുന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. അതായത് സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് അവരുടെ അഭിപ്രായങ്ങൾ തുറന്നു പറയുവാനും അവരുടെ ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് വ്യൂസ് ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ട് എക്സ്പ്രസ് ചെയ്യുവാനും സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ ഒരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമാണ്. അപ്പോൾ പേട്രിയാർക്കി നിറഞ്ഞൊരു സമൂഹത്തിൽ സ്ത്രീകൾ ഉയർന്നു വരുമ്പോൾ, അത് സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയയിലൂടെ ഉയർന്നു വരുമ്പോൾ അവരെ അടിച്ചമർത്തുന്നതിനുള്ള ഒരു ഉപകരണങ്ങളായിട്ട് പലപ്പോഴും ഈ ട്രോളുകൾ മാറാറുണ്ട്. പിന്നീട് അടുത്ത ഒരു മേഖല എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പൊളിറ്റിക്സിലും ഫിലിംസിലും മൂവീസിലും ട്രോളുകൾ ഒരുപാട് കടന്നു വരുന്നുണ്ട്. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് സ്ത്രീകൾ പൊളിറ്റിക്സിലും മൂവീസിലും കയറുമ്പോൾ അവർക്കെതിരെ ഒരുപാട് ട്രോളുകൾ കടന്നു വരുന്നതായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. അങ്ങനെ ഒട്ടേറെ മേഖലകളിൽ ട്രോളുകളുടെ സ്വാധീനം ശക്തമായി തന്നെ ഇപ്പോഴും തെറ്റായി ബാധിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
There have been cases where women with a huge following on online social platforms have received rape threats on social media. The life you haven't lived will always be a myth to you. To know the impact of trolls on the lives of influencers, we need to understand their perspectives and thoughts regarding trolls. Next slide. Online violence against women is essentially an extension of the offline violence directed at women owing to their gender, targeting their sexuality, reducing them to mere sexual objects, and reinforcing gender stereotypes. Online violence often leads to women being silenced or self-censoring their opinions due to fear of backlash. Therefore, such violence and abuse act as barriers to women being able to exercise their rights to equality and freedom of expression. Next slide. Trolls which body shame people on social media often do not realize that there may be underlying health problems which could be responsible for the weight gain or loss. Due to the normalcy with which body shaming through trolls takes place through social media platforms, people have begun to view other people's bodies as completely appropriate targets for mockery, frequently forgetting that those bodies actually house real people with the same feelings, thoughts, and sensitivities as we do. Acts of female body shaming are committed generally by men, as studies have claimed. Next slide. Despite what some fans may think, many athletes go through social media just like the rest of us. Professional athletes need to become used to criticism and verbal online attacks. Many professional athletes appear to understand the value of having a thick skin and acting professionally when dealing with even their fiercest detractors. Next slide. Some influencers often encourage trolling because it will bring them more attention and bring their content to new audiences, thus increasing the views and followers they get. There are influencers who brush off even the most vicious of attacks on themselves and their content as simply joking matter. Next slide. This, however, varies severely from person to person, and expecting every individual to respond to trolls in the same manner is completely unrealistic. Certain influencers use the negative publicity gained from trolls to increase their popularity and following. The need to study the perceptions of social media influencers who are victims of trolling is important because the way different individuals react to trolls is different. Next slide. As the internet ensures anonymity, trolls freely engage in attacking individuals online without fear of content and actions being traced back to them. Everything, including their identity, can be faked. A collection of perceptions can help to understand which perceptions regarding trolls can be considered to be the most accurate and ethically adherable. This can help new and upcoming influencers to deal with trolls in an efficient manner that doesn't affect their mental health in a negative fashion. This can enable influencers to assess their own thought process and mindset regarding trolls and make corrections necessary to deal with trolls in an effective manner. This study aims to enable the general populace to realize just how vituperative and hurtful trolls can be. I would like to conclude our presentation with 2 quotes. In a world where we can be anything we want, be kind. And another quote from Mike Tyson. Social media have made you all too comfortable with disrespecting people without getting punched in the face for it. Thank you. I would like to wish you all a wonderful day.
ഡിസ്കഷൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ക്ലാരിഫിക്കേഷൻസ് സംശയങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ചോദിക്കാവുന്നതാണ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ അഭിപ്രായങ്ങൾ തുറന്നു പറയാം. Please, once more.
എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നെഗറ്റീവ് ട്രോൾസിന് കൂടുതൽ അട്രാക്ഷനും കൂടുതൽ ഓഡിയൻസിനെ കിട്ടുന്നത്? എന്തായാലും അത് ചെയ്യുന്ന കൂടുതലായിട്ട് അവർക്ക് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബേഴ്സിനെ കിട്ടുന്നു, വ്യൂവേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവുന്നു. അതിന് കാരണം അത് കാണാനായിട്ട് ഒത്തിരി പേരുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ there should be some psychology behind it. Why these trolls are attractive?
Trolls ഒരു നെഗറ്റീവ് കനോട്ടേഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. Just like the word propaganda has got a negative connotation, troll itself it is included. So that is the issue. But anyway, it is putting on a lighter shade. That is all. Whether the reflections are if it is making injury to the particular person or the influencer, then it will become a troll. But it needs further explorations are required. It's a very interesting topic which requires probably those who are going for your post PG programs. You can try out for local level programs depending on this aspect.
My question is not answered well. I want to answer.
Yeah.
Okay, I can answer that. Can you please tell me your name, please? Sir? Okay. Have you heard about the theory of crab? മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞ ഞണ്ട് തിയറി എന്ന് പറയും. അതൊരു ഫണ്ണി നെയിമാണ്. അത് മലയാളികളിടയിൽ നടത്തിയ പഠനത്തിനിടയിൽ കണ്ടെത്തിയ ഒരു തിയറിയാണ്. വൈ പീപ്പിൾ സീക്ക് നെഗറ്റിവിറ്റി. മലയാളികളെന്നല്ല, ലോകത്തിലെ പല ആൾക്കാരും, അതായത് പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് മലയാളി സമൂഹത്തിനിടയിലും കണ്ടുവരുന്നൊരു പ്രതിഭാസമാണ് മറ്റുള്ളവർ വളരുന്നത് കാണുമ്പോൾ അസൂയ. ഈ ട്രോൾസ് വളരാനും മറ്റുള്ളവരുടെ തകർച്ച, മറ്റുള്ളവരെ കളിയാക്കുന്നത് കൂടുതൽ കാണാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നത് ഉള്ളിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ അവർക്കായിത്തീരാൻ പറ്റാത്തൊരു ഇമേജ് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞത്. നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ പേഴ്സൺസിൻ്റെ തിയറിയിലുള്ള അവർക്ക് അവരുടെ ഐഡിയൽ സെൽഫിനെ സാറ്റിസ്ഫൈ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ ഉള്ളിലുണ്ടായ കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റ് അവർ ആ കോൺഫ്ലിക്റ്റുമായിട്ട് കോപ്പപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഒന്നുകിൽ എൻജോയ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇത്തരം കാര്യങ്ങൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടോ ആണ്.
മനുഷ്യന്റെ സ്വാഭാവികമായിട്ടൊരു സാഡ്നെസ്, ഒരു സാഡിസ്റ്റ് മൈൻഡ് ഉണ്ട്. അതവർ എപ്പോഴും ഹൈഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്നതാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞ ഐഡിയൽ സെൽഫ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞൊരു കാര്യമാണ് വരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇവിടെ ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഒരു കാര്യം അനോണിമിറ്റിയാണ്. ആരെന്നറിയാതെ ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള സാഡിസ്റ്റ് സ്വഭാവങ്ങൾ പുറത്തേക്ക് വിടാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു മീഡിയ കൂടിയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ കോഴ്സ് വരുന്നത് എന്നത് തോന്നുന്നത്.
അത് നല്ലൊരു കോൺട്രിബ്യൂഷനാണ്. ഞങ്ങൾ തീർച്ചയായും ഫർദർ സ്റ്റഡിക്ക് വേണ്ടി മനസ്സിൽ വെക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും. താങ്ക് യു. ക്യാൻ യു വൈൻഡ് അപ്പ്? തീർന്നു? ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും സജഷൻസ്? നിങ്ങളുടെ ആർക്കെങ്കിലും പേഴ്സണലായിട്ട് ട്രോള് ഫേസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടോ? അങ്ങനെ എന്തെങ്കിലും എക്സ്പീരിയൻസ് ഷെയറിങ് ആവോ, എന്തെങ്കിലും ആവോ? നിങ്ങൾ നാണിക്കണ്ട, ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവിടുത്തെ പിള്ളേർ തന്നെയാണ്, ധൈര്യമായിട്ട് ചോദിക്കാം. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓക്കെ. ടു ആസ്ക്? എന്തെങ്കിലും വിമർശനങ്ങൾ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് പറയാം, സപ്പോർട്ടിംഗ് പോയിന്റ്സ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ പറയാം, ഞങ്ങളെ ക്രോസ് കൗണ്ടർ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാം, എന്ത് വേണമെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യാം. ഇറ്റ്സ് ഓക്കെ. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you.
Next presentation is by Aishi Ajit Govan, am I right? And Gloria Richard. Okay, one moment. In fact, Aishi and Gloria are coming up with frontline politics over journalist technology. Am I right? In fact, technology and media are interwoven, inseparable. It has got its own pathways deep into the society. As far as a newsman is concerned, or a media person or a journalist is concerned, he has to collect the news, he has to compute it, collate, then produce it as a news item which is required for their medium, then it has to be telecast or televised or printed or whatever it be. I have asked you one question, which is the gadget which you have to invariably have nowadays, right from the baby to the grown-up. Smartphone, you said. During my my official work in Kaltron, we were given, especially the persons who are related with the public or those who want to move out of the company for the work to be executed by Kaltron, we were given a gadget which is called pager. How many of you have seen or heard of that? Anybody? It has had only 2 years span of life as a gadget is concerned. I was having the BPL instrument with me, which is being right now, even now it is with me. As a souvenir, I am keeping it. The last 50 years have seen explosive growth of technology. New products are coming up. To name a few, the recent one, cryptocurrency. We were not even thought of having such a situation arising in the near future. Mobile phone, mobile apps, touchscreen phones, Walkman, record player, transistor radio, pocket calculator, VCR, VCD. These are the pieces which we have to keep as a souvenir. And now we are into IoT, Internet of Things, where which I am sitting here in Kattappana Marian College, and I can operate a gadget, an electronic gadget in my home. That is IoT. And what about the future? Say, for example, in 2040 or 2050, the scientists or the researchers are looking at bionic eyes. And also, interestingly, metaverse is another combo of internet, augmented and virtual realities. So that then artificial intelligence is going deeper. We will be having airports for flying taxis. Bionic eyes you will be having. You can have when your generation 20 years to move. Super fast charging batteries, silicon chips, brain means chips being planted in your brain. There is no need for the computer screens. A lens is can be used to see the read anything which you want. See see a movie or watch a cricket match. So seamless connectivity. These are some of the hyper augmented reality. brain to computer interfaces. These are the ways in which the technical scenario is moving. So I believe Ms. Aisha as well as Gloria will be speaking about their findings about the impact of the technological aspects in the present day scenario. Please.
Whether technology is ban or boon, technology is bane or boon is a matter of subject. Technology has an Technology has had a profound impact on the historical development of journalism. Good afternoon to everyone present here. I, Gloria Richard,
And I am Aishi Ajit Goban.
of Marian College Kuttikkanam. We will be presenting on the topic Influence of Frontline Politics on Journalist Technology. This theoretical paper presents on the interrelationship between technology, journalism, and politics. So, what is technology? Technology is a new scientific knowledge. A new scientific knowledge that is created using systems, tools, and processes. It is a fundamental phase of technology. There are different kinds of technology such as invention, innovation, and diffusion. Technology has impacted crucially on the public life, and this has expanded the horizon of communication. It has also provided a complete freedom of expression among the public. Journalists play a crucial role in sharing news information through media. Both entertainment and information have been assimilated into the daily lives of the public. So in order to maintain a healthy democratic life, one must maintain a news to stay accurately. As we all know that fake news is a frequently used term which consists of blending of concepts such as misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation.
During the COVID pandemic situation, the social media was incredibly effective in promoting precautionary awareness. The journalists are greatly benefited by technology as it undergoes day-by-day changes in giving news productions. There are several technologies in which the journalists are using for giving us news information correctly. Some of them are cellular telephone networks. They assist journalists in giving valuable information to a certain time. Another one is online newspaper archives. They give readers the options to access news from anywhere they want. The next one is crowdsourcing aids. Crowdsourcing aids, they helps to give the reporters the vision throughout all over relevant topics. Another one, the government makes use of technologies are artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. These two technologies help the government to maintain the confidentiality and also to increase the service they provide.
Dr. Subhash Chandra, a co-owner of Z News, have been an independent member of the Upper House Parliament of India, served as an Rajya Sabha member who is elected with the support of BJP, Bharat Janata Party. Even Rajiv Chandrasekhar, a member of Bharat Janata Party, has also served as a member of Rajya Sabha. Due to the influence of both media and politics, they had become a fame in India. The private TV networks has influenced each other. both the journalists and the politics in breaking news and giving the information to one another since 1990s in India. Even CTV has gained much population other than the other TV channel networks.
According to a major revelation of investigation journalism, both politics and journalists are very interrelated to each other. These politicians will be open-minded to journalists in order to gain their trust, so that people are watching these news. So it will be easy for the politicians to gain trust if they try to convey the journalist. The relationship between these two requires attention to spread its policies, whereas the other needs political knowledge in order to acquire public attention.
The village of Kurvatur, which is situated in Calicut district, is a North Malabar village, and in there are inadequate education results which results in lack of employment or less of employment opportunities. They lack water scarcity, resource availability, etc. And even the caste hierarchy, land ownership, all these factors affect the social, economic and political changes in that village. At the same time, there were also regional and communal bias in selecting media or newspaper selection. Malayalam Manorama in that village was less used by the public of that village, whereas Madhrubhumi is used the most. At the same time, the Muslim League's newspaper Chantrika was less popular in that village, and the Marxist Party mouthpiece Deshabhimani gained the population.
Okay. So, in conclusion, the media is considered to be the backbone of democracy, informing the individuals about the daily events occurring in our environment. The internet plays an active role in how people get involved in local, national and global concerns. The media serve as a collection of facts that people accept actual in order to give this accurate information. The two fields, both media and culture, are closely related. Apart from the journalistic practice and media organizations, there are also external determinants of historical, political, economic and societal landscapes where the sources of power behind media agendas is still challenging to comprehend. The 24/7 news cycle in contemporary media has created additional difficulties in maintaining journalistic integrity. This creates news information asymmetries for news consumers. However, if purchased information is provided as news material, it will mislead the audience and impart their ability to form an informed view.
Thank you. Thank you, Marian College, for this wonderful opportunity.
Queries, clarifications, suggestions, questions? Shall I put a question?
Yes, sir.
Why do you choose that region particularly?
First of all, I love technology.
Okay.
So I love to do scientific research on technology, even though I'm an English literature student.
Okay.
So I thought of working and connecting journalism and media with technology. Without journalism, we can't connect with technology. I know, without technology, we can't have a media in the present generation.
Okay. Anything else? Your study was conducted when what time frame?
Technology, journalism with technology and politics. All three are interconnected.
There was a question?
No. A theoretical paper. No case study. It's just a theoretical paper.
Anything else? One more question from my side.
Okay, sir.
What have you observed any changes during the post-COVID scenario?
Yes, of course. Because during the COVID pandemic, there were several precautions that were spread awareness through social medias, advertisements, using logo symbols, and etc.
And moreover, what has happened in the scenario of the media scenario, how technologies are being taken to the masses.
Because of the technology, even we had online classes. All the educational institution had online classes. Those working in journalism, they were they had work from home conditions. Even technology, even computer, who works in computers, IT fields, they also had online, so that also benefited them.
Identified any pockets of shift in the financial gains of the companies.
Yeah, that also. Okay.
What was the transition which was happening? The reading habit.
Yeah.
How it changed?
Sir, can you explain?
How the reading habit of the people changed? Newspaper reading. Newspapers were every day morning. Keralites are used to go through at least one newspaper.
So I think it was through everything was confined in their houses, and most of them were online. So they need not to get up early or travel for work or for education. So I think they have got time to complete the daily newspaper, to read their daily newspapers. For me, it's up to my opinion.
There was a rise in the number of readers of online media.
That was also
almost all the dailies came up with the online edition because people were reluctant to take a newspaper because the people feared that it will spread, COVID will spread
through newspapers in direct contact.
Direct contact. Then there are a lot of other issues are there. Okay, anybody? Yes, I wanted to wonder about that.
Okay.
Okay, if no other questions, let us give a clap to them. And the third paper during this session is being taken up by Ms. Sandra and Krishna. Okay. In fact, the paper is centered around Mollywood. In fact, movies can create awareness or educate people on the multiple facets of human life transactions. Films reflect culture, the aspirations, dreams of the people, the feelings, emotions, apprehensions, fear, woes, contradictions, inconsistencies, marginalization. So many issues are being taken up by the films. It may not have social. People will say that it is for society. It is for my social commitment that I am coming in with the movie. Anyway, this is not. Their topic is not confined to that area. It can be inspirational. One of their study paper says something on wherein. It can be inspirational, as is evident from the discussion in the paper of Sandra and Krishna. It is an analysis of the portrayal of the families in Malayalam cinema. It narrates male chauvinism and toxic possessiveness of the villainic hero, I will put it, villainic hero, and subsequent resurrection of the lead female counterpart. Dire necessity is the mother of all inventions, it is said. The lockdown life has been a phase of revelations to all, as being pointed out in the previous paper, right from babies to the age. All facets of life, all human transactions underwent drastic changes during the COVID period. And Jojo, which was screened in 2022, draws life energy from the COVID hit ecosystem, including lockdowns, online classes, bucket chicken, then reels, so on, so forth. So I am inviting Sandra and Krishna to the stage.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Krishna and this is Sandra Shinto. We are presenting our paper on the topic, an analysis of portrayal of families in Malayalam cinema. We are undertaking two movies, Wherein and Jo, as our case studies. Movie is a motion picture which is always an influential part in the society. They place a prominent figure as a medium of publicity, education and culture. Especially when we come to the case of Mollywood cinema, we have witnessed a revolutionary change as a radical impact of political criticism which gave rise to more flexible and relatable movies for our society. Along with this radical change, there happened something else too in the plot settings of these movies, which is where home became a prominent character or a prominent setting for these movies. In our research, we are taking up Wherein and Jo, which plays an important factor which can make a change in or which can impact our society both positive and in a negative way. Where families become, how can a family stand as a supporting factor when there is a crisis or a chaotic situation for one's life or an individual's period. Another thing which is discussed in this movie is where families are discussed as part of how they build up the relationship and the layers of relationship that happens when there is an internal crisis in our family. This movie also, this study also discusses about the social change which can happen as a part or as an impact of these movies. Over to Sandra.
So, as we know that this is a patriarchal society and there exist many stereotypical and conventional ideas in our families. So after the invention of the political criticism and change in Malayalam cinema, the cinema has scattered, they have attempted to change these stereotypes that exist in our Malayalam society by portraying the realistic and existing negative things that exist in our society. So the movie Oyere as well as Jo, taking the case of Oyere, it upheld the positive ideology. It gave a positive ideology to the people, and whereas Jo, they have portrayed the negative thing that happened in our family, and later it breaks the stereotype. So first, let's discuss on Oyere. The movie is a sensitive movie which is released on year of 2019. It's a movie, the movie depicts the struggle of a woman called Pallavi who is being burdened under the toxic relationship, and later how she becomes a thriving survivor of that toxic relationship. And the major character we focus here is her father, Ravindran, who has been a pillar for her, who has been supportive for everything that comes in her life. And this role is played by actor Siddiq. And as we know that our society never prefer a love relationship or never likes to discuss about love and other kinds of relationship and so on. So the children will be so embarrassed to discuss about love, breakups, mental health to their parents. And it is not likely that it is not necessary that our parents should understand this all kinds of things. But the movie Oyere, Pallavi and Ravindran share a kind of space between them that they could share anything else. And Pallavi, when Pallavi shares about her relationship with Govind to Mr. Ravindran, he takes it as a normal thing which can happen in anyone's life. And also when he finds Govind, a toxic person, when she is under a toxic relationship, Ravindran politely asks her to seek second thought about Govind. And also, Ravindran also respects and agrees with her decision. He genuinely supports Pallavi in her pursuit of her goals and her fight for justice and her road to healing. Ravindran encourages his daughter to move on with his confidence after helping to get through her difficult time. When she is being attacked by the acid, Ravindran and some of her friends was only with her as a family. And the next movie for the discussion is Joy and Joe. In Joy and Joe, the realistic nature of the family is being portrayed, and later the movie, breaks the stereotype. Conveys the idea that this is not the family should be. This is not the way how the family should be to play in the role of a life of a children. And the movie is a comedy entertainer which is released in 2022. It actually discusses the issues of the middle class family. The movie revolves around the central character Jomol and how she exhausted by her normalized comfort. And the movie portrays how Jomol finds her space in addressing her individuality. The movie actually goes like a rivalry between the brother and sister Jomol and Jomol. And Jomol is against the preferential treatment of her mother towards Jomon. And while the problems with Jomon is sister, he sees his sister as a burden, who messing things up. And we know that since we live in this in a patriarchal society, boys are being more favored than girls. And here Jomon is a mere representation of the community where he can go wherever he wants. He smokes with his friends, he hang out with his friends, he comes to home whenever he wants. And when we are taking the case of Jomol, she's been stuck under the constraints of patriarchy and gender roles. Also, the problems that faced by Jomol is she's been highly pressurized by her parents to get married, and she constantly denies it, but her family ultimately fails to realize her interest and never ever respect her decision. Her family fails in accepting that she is a mature person to take decision by herself. Also, Jomol complains about the parents' ill treatment of forcing her to do household works, where Jomon is having everything be done by others. Here also, Jomol is being rigorously victim blamed by his brother for mistaking that she is being in a relationship. So our society is insanely conditioned under the patriarchy, and it is found that men is more favored than girls, and here women are meant to obey. And in Joe's family, it is evident that her Jomon is more favored than Jomol. And in between that, Jomol tries to convince her parents, and it ultimately, when she goes frustrated and she cries out for addressing her problems with her parents. The movie is actually the correction for the Malayali society because it actually portrays the realistic thing that happens in our family. And here also the movie discusses how much inner conflicts and how much dispersed situation the girl child in a family, and how they find difficulty in addressing her thing because she knows that no one is going to understand her present situation. The movie also proves the need of individuality for the children, and individuality is above the general roles. Every person has got individuality, and even if we are in a family or in a public platform or wherever we want, everyone wants to respect, everyone deserves a respect in our individuality. And I do think so that family is the first and foremost place where we receive the individuality, where we need an acceptance.
As the conclusion of our study, both movies showcase regressive ideologies present in our society about gender roles, and we also discussed how family is a part, or how family stays as a main pillar of their offerings when there is a crisis in their situation or life. Wherein is a movie which upholds the positive changes or positive structure a society needs or a family should understand when there is a crisis. At the same time, Joe and Joe put forwards the negative shades of the society or a family, and at the end of that movie they just breaks it off. They breaks the normalization of such conditions in a family. In Ure's movie, the father Ravindran is a so-called supporter of her. Whenever there is a crisis, he supports. At the same time, in Joe and Joe, the father, he is a peacemaker whenever there is a crisis in the family. He just solves the issues. His presence is always required in that family. That is the difference between both these families. And when we come to the main characters, Pallavi and Joe, both of them are real fighters in our society. They seek for their individuality, and they always put forward their self-esteem above everything. They just don't fail for that. These two characters are real fighters and luminary characters for every teenagers in our society. For this, we come to the end of this study, end of this presentation. We are requesting for putting forward questions, so which this is a topic very much related to everyone's life. So, ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു.
Inviting the questions from everyone. You can also share your viewpoints and experiences.
I have something to ask a question. See, we are talking about what is happening in the family, and your narrative is a explanation of, not an explanation, narrative of that, the reality which is taking place. I think you have presented it well. But my question is, merely my presentation of these external, not only external, the problems which are in the family, you are not going to solve this. What is the fundamental thing which is required to be changed if you want to have a better approach to the girl child? I am talking about fundamentals, not about the peripheral things or
It doesn't matter if it should be a girl or boy. First and foremost things we want is communication. The freedom to communicate anything to our parents and siblings. That's what the main thing that lacks in many of the family, because we never open up to our parents, and we never open up, like we never discusses about the major things that happen in our life regarding relationship, regarding breakups, mental health, the things related to the things that associated with adolescence period. We likely not to share too much with our parents. So that's the thing that we lack in our most of the family. And most of the things which I have mentioned before, people see it as a taboo thing, something as a sin. So that attitude must be changed.
Thank you for the answer. But you haven't answered completely the question which I have listened. Maybe it is too complicated, or you need to answer straightforward. What I am saying is, you said families change, communication is required. Communicate what?
സാർ, നമുക്ക് ഒരേ സമയം നമ്മുടെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളും നമ്മളെ ജീവിതത്തിൽ നടക്കുന്ന സന്തോഷങ്ങളാണെങ്കിൽ അത് പ്രശ്നങ്ങളായാലും നമ്മുടെ മൂത്തവരടുത്ത്, അതായത് ഫാമിലിയോട് നമുക്ക് പറയാനൊരു സ്പേസ് ഉണ്ടാവുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ആദ്യം വേണ്ടത്. ആ സ്പേസ് ഇല്ലാത്തടത്ത് നമുക്ക് ചെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അത് തന്നെയാണ് ഈ രണ്ട് സിനിമയിൽ കൂടെ നമ്മൾ പറയാൻ ശ്രമിച്ചത്. അവർക്ക് ഫാമിലി ഉണ്ട്, അവർക്ക് പറയാൻ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യാനും പറ്റും, പക്ഷേ സ്പേസ് ഇസ് ദ വൺ വിച്ച് ഇസ് ലാക്കിംഗ് ഇൻ ദയർ. അപ്പം അത് മാറാൻ രണ്ടുപേരും ഒരു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ്മെന്റിൽ എത്തണം, രണ്ടുപേരും. അപ്പം നമ്മളൊരു അല്ലെ, ഐ തിങ്ക്
I understand your question.
What you are telling is, people must have listening capacity. They should be listen more than talk more.
Yes. സംസാരിച്ചാലും കേട്ടാലും മാത്രമേ ഒരു പ്രശ്നം ഉണ്ടാകുമ്പോൾ അത് സോൾവ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടത്തുള്ളൂ. അതല്ലാതിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ അവിടെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമുക്കൊരു സപ്പോർട്ടിംഗ് ഫാക്ടറായിട്ട് ഫാമിലിയെ ടേക്ക് ഓവർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക?
ഇവിടെ നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന കൺവെൻഷണൽ നേച്ചർ, ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ സമൂഹത്തിൽ നിലനിൽക്കുന്ന കൺവെൻഷണൽ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് മാറാൻ സമയമെടുക്കും. പക്ഷേ അത് നിലനിൽക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും മറക്കപ്പെടുകയാണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഇപ്പം ഞാനൊരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, നമ്മുടെ റിലേഷൻഷിപ്പിനെ പറ്റി നമ്മൾ ഫാമിലിയുടെ അടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ ഓപ്പൺ ആയിട്ട് പറയുമോ? ഇവിടെ ഇരിക്കുന്ന ആരെങ്കിലും പറയുമോ? ഇല്ല. എക്സ്പെഷ്യലി പെൺകുട്ടികൾ പറയോ? ഇല്ല. കാരണം ഇവിടെ കാരണം നോർമലായിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യമാണ്. ബീയിങ് ഇൻ എ റിലേഷൻഷിപ്പ്, എവറിത്തിങ് ഈസ് നോർമൽ തിങ്, ബട്ട് പീപ്പിൾ നെവർ സീസ് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് എ നോർമൽ തിങ്. സോ ആ ഒരു സ്പേസ് ഇല്ലാണ്ട് പോവുകയാണ്. അങ്ങനെയാണ് കൂടുതൽ കോംപ്ലിക്കേഷനിലേക്ക് വരുന്നത്. ആൻഡ് സ്പേസ് ടു കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ്.
സാർ ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള സിനിമകൾ ചർച്ച ചെയ്യുന്ന മെയിൻ ആയിട്ടൊരു വിഷയം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പല Yes, sir. Yes, we'll think more on that topic and we'll give you an answer soon. വേറെ ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ? യെസ് ഫാദർ. അച്ഛാ
നമ്മുടെ അതിൽ ഒരുപാട് ഘടകങ്ങൾ അതിന് കോൺട്രിബ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഒന്ന് നമ്മുടെ സോഷ്യൽ സ്ട്രക്ചർ, പിന്നെ ഫാമിലി പാട്രിയാർക്കൽ സെറ്റപ്പ്, then our political views, religion, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള മേഖലകളിലും ഇതിനെ ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഇതിനൊക്കെ വലിയൊരു പങ്കുണ്ട്. പല റീജിയനിലും ഇതിനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന തരത്തിലുള്ളത് ആ ഒരു മേഖലയിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും
നമ്മൾ റിലീജിയൻ കോൺസെൻട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല സ്റ്റഡിയിൽ. നമ്മൾ സോഷ്യൽ സ്ട്രക്ചറിനെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, പാട്രിയാർക്കിയെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നുണ്ട്, ഫെമിനിസത്തെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. റിലീജിയൻ എടുക്കാത്തതെന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുറച്ചും കൂടി വാസ്റ്റായി പോവും എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഐഡിയ ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് റിലീജിയൻ തൊടാതെ നമ്മൾ ബാക്കിയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ കവർ ചെയ്തത്. പിന്നെ ഇതിനകത്ത് പറയുന്നതെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 2 മൂവി റിലീജിയനെ തൊട്ടിട്ടില്ല. അത് അങ്ങനെ പറയാൻ പറ്റുമെന്ന് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നില്ല. അച്ഛൻ അതെ. പക്ഷെ ഫാമിലിയിലുള്ള ഇൻഡിവിജ്വലിന്റെ ഫ്രീഡം ആണ് ആദ്യം വേണ്ടത്.
ബെയർ മിനിമം ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് ഫാമിലിയിലെ ഇൻഡിവിജ്വാലിറ്റി.
റിലീജിയൻ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല, റിലീജിയൻ ഞങ്ങൾ നോക്കിയിട്ടില്ല. കാരണം റിലീജിയൻ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് ഭയങ്കര വാസ്റ്റായി പോകും.
സ്റ്റഡി ഫോക്കസസ് ഓൺ ഹൗ ഫാമിലി ഡീൽസ് വിത്ത് ദ പ്രോബ്ലംസ് ദാറ്റ് ഫേസ്ഡ് ബൈ ദർ, ഹൗ ദേ ഡീൽസ് വിത്ത് ഇറ്റ്. എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു ഫാമിലി ഒരു കുട്ടിയുടെ പ്രശ്നം വന്നാൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് അവർ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നാണ് മെയിൻലി ഇതിൽ പറയുന്നത്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അതിൽ 2 പെൺകുട്ടികളുടെ കേസ് സ്റ്റഡി കൊണ്ടുവന്നിട്ട് എങ്ങനെയാണ് 2 പേരുടെ ഫാമിലി അപ്രോച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നതെന്നാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റഡി. അതിൽ സോഷ്യൽ സ്ട്രക്ചറാണ് മെയിൻലി ഞങ്ങൾ ക്രിട്ടിസൈസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അതിൽ റിലീജിയൻ ഞങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ താല്പര്യപ്പെടുന്നു.
That is a good suggestion. Thank you.
We have seen an example by which listening. We have seen an example by which when religion or communal forces peep into the area of films, but we have seen the international film festival which has happened last week about the Kashmiri files. The comments from the chairman of the committee. So, as far as possible, even though we say it's a secular, within inverted commas secular country, we have to do with the system. That is the issue. Now it has become with the intrusion of the internet into the households. What has happened? That is a very challenging task to be addressed. We cannot with one single movie we cannot tell all the issues. But they were in fact focusing on the familial matters. So nice. All the best.
Thank you, sir.
about this thing. Anyway, I am happy that Dr. Michael Putantara, who was my previous boss, invited me to this event. Okay. Shall I ask the last question to you? How many of you have come across a story that a scientist, IT scientist, got married to a robot woman or is having a robot spouse? Anybody? They went for official registration of the marriage, but there are technical issues. But in China, in Japan, in many of the developed countries, the youth are opting for robotic spouses than organic spouse. So, as Shivkara has told, freedom is to be won by each generation. So, you, being the new generation, have to win your own freedom rather than depending more on the elderly people. That is a singular piece of, this is not an advice, a sentence which I want to share with you. And I believe that the technological advancements will never spoil the dish if provided you are taking cautious steps to control, to ensure control mechanisms into that. With these words, I believe that the democracy in India can thrive even with the advent of technical, whatever be the gadgets which we are having, what all incidents which are happening, and it can get strengthened further. Thank you. All the best.
Good afternoon, everyone. That brings us to the end of the session. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Advocate G. Srikumar for accepting our invitation to moderate the session. Gratitude to you, sir, for your time and consideration. Thank you, sir, for providing an introduction to each of the papers presented. I thank all the presenters and audience present here. Thank you. Over to Michael, sir.
Friends, as the convener of this seminar, I would like to say, not actually more than few words, I would like to thank everyone for making this seminar a success and also a milestone in the Department of Communication and Media Studies. Actually, my thoughts comes to me that we must do these kind of things quite often. That would be something, a fitting tribute to continuation of seminar of this kind. Now, when I say thank you, I am saying thank you to everyone who is involved in it. Apart from the students who have shown considerable interest in the administration of the seminar, I also thank our guests who have come from far, not too far, but far away, and participated in this seminar. Actually, I am the person, not as a convener, but I am just a person as a contact person whom the students who came from Trivandrum contacted at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so that is some kind of a, I think, milestone also in the department. We are also a welcoming people. We also have got hospitality. Maybe because it is the hospitality department, it is next to ours. We have certain good points rubbed off on us. I believe all of you have got a certificate of attendance or participation or a part of the organizing in this seminar. Certificate so the certificate will be awarded, certificates will be awarded right now. Thank you.
Next is it's time to issue the certificates for the presenters. Now I welcome sir to issue the certificate.
Gloria Kuncha. Ayushi and Govind. Krishna S.K. Sandhya Shindar.
Michael sir. Next, I would like to welcome Michael sir to issue the certificate for the participants.
And Mary Devi. Ashina S. Gino Joseph. Basil Shajan. After collecting the certificates, will you please be present here? This for the order. Thank you. Dino Benny, James Siri, Glory S. Nair, Halima Sama, Hani Sebastian, Krishna S.K., Leah Marie, Leah Marie Daniel, Nanda Vishnu, Sandra Maria Dekan, Sharika R. Sultana Hamid, Kartika S. Krishnan, Justin James, Jinjamol C.P., Indulekha Raju, Evin Anthony, Sridevi Srinivasan, Srilakshmi P.S., Swati, Anisha Biju, Alan Joseph, Vaishnavi, Sneha, Rajini, Didi Ashwati, Renita Maria Doni, Megha Suresh, Leo J. Johnson, GVT George, Alina Sara Mansi, Anjali Biju, Anusri Sagar,
Absent.
Aroma, Ashin, Ashwin S, Ashwin, Bisinimod, Devika, Dice Anthony, Hare Krishna, Kiran Francis, Alina Basil, Anisha P.K., Anju Babu, Anisha Tony. സാദൃശ്യത്തെ വിളിച്ചായിരുന്നു. സാദൃശ്യം Thank you, sir.
Next,
Not only a thank you, ഒരു കയ്യടി ആവശ്യമാണ്.
next, I invite Renita Maria Dominic to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. Let me commence by giving a huge thanks to the Department of Communication and Media Studies, Marian College Kuttikkanam, and Forum for Democracy and Social Justice for hosting this national seminar. I also thank our special guest who, despite of their busy schedule, has found time to grace this seminar. I, on behalf of Communication and Media Department, extend my heartfelt gratitude to our principal, Dr. Ajimun George, for his gracious pre- and encouragement he bolstered for the event. Thank you, sir, for your instant support. Next, I place on record our gratitude to our administrator Father Joseph Pongantanam for his generous support for this event and encouragement in all our efforts. I would like to extend my thanks to moderators Dr. Paul Manalil, Dr. Biju P. Mani, Dr. T.V. Murali Vallaban and Advocate G. Srikumar, who coordinated the 4-session seminar methodically. Next, I would like to thank our director, Professor M. Vijaykumar, who is a leading light of our department. I also extend my thanks to our HOD, Father Sobi Thomas, who offered enormous support and guidance in the organization of this event. I take this opportunity to extend our sincere thanks to the convener, Dr. Michael Putundara, who offered the contributions and efforts for enhancing this event. My heartfelt thanks to the faculty members, Sister Anu, Joby Sir, Sabita Ma'am and Anson Sir for the kindness, hospitality and continuous support. Now I thank all the presenters and attendees of this seminar. I express my gratitude to our student coordinators who cooperated with different committees for the success of this event. A special thanks to all committees, Design and Print Committee, Documentation Committee, Food and Accommodation Committee, Registration Committee, Guest Management Committee, Program and Stage Committee, and also the Technical Committee who wholeheartedly supported and made the event a reality. I also thank our dear seniors and my friends for your presence, cooperation and support. Once again, thank you all.